guys, it's me, Rebecca. So I decided to start another vlog because, well, why not? But today I've been productive. I've done some cooking, some laundry and whatnot, and I think in the end of my last vlog I was in New Haven. I have to go back to New Haven today with my mom because on our way home we are gonna do grocery shopping because the street where we typically go grocery shopping is on our way home. So. But yeah, reading wise, I just started A History of Fear by Luke Durmas. This is just the hardcover because I do take off the dust jackets. But this is about this guy who killed someone and he claims that the devil made him do it, and he's not like a lunatic or something like that. He's described as like a fairly normal person. Like he seemed to generally believe like, oh yeah, I did this because I was tempted by the devil. Yeah, but he does commit suicide, and he leaves this like while he's in prison, and he he leaves this manuscript kind of detailing of like what happened and everything so far it seems that led up to this murder and whatnot. Yeah, I'm about 25-ish pages in, and I'm liking it so far. It seems like something. It starts with his father. Like his father was in Scotland, like he was, but something happened there that caused him to go back and kind of like change the direction of his life. Like his father initially was down the path of being like this professor, of being an academic, and then he goes down a religious route. So far, and his father, like he became a very religious man. He kind of joined this church and became someone who tries to put Jesus in people's hearts, and something happens. His father dies. The cops think it was an accident, and that's what the general, like what people believe. But our main hero Grayson, who is the murderer in question, he finds this note in his father's study, and it seems like something happened with his father in Scotland. It seems like he was in a similar position to Grayson, where he was tempted by the devil to do something. So yeah. But so far this book is interesting in a sense, like this is a recount of what happened, but we also get not news, but a journalist is the person who published this, but they are intersecting it with like their own interviews with people and notes they've gathered and documents they've gained from, and it's like building the full picture of what happened, not just from Grayson's point of view, but from the point of view of everyone else. Like Grayson's flatmate in Edinburgh, his psychologist while he's in prison so far. So yeah, it is interesting so far. So yeah, and yeah, I think that's all for now. Later the same day, I just got home and I am tired. But as you saw, I did walk around New Haven today. I just walked around like an area of Yale University, and my mom had some time in between appointments, so we went to some like museum in the area. I'm linking out on the exact name of the museum, but it was just affiliated with Yale University. Like it was literally. That's right next to the Yale campus. So, but I have done more reading of A History of Fear, and I'm liking it so far. I'm on page 54, and I like the voice of our character of Grayson, who I need to remember. He's a guy in his like mid-20s, so he might sound older, but he's still quite young. But it's just the way this is written. I'm like, thinking of like a deep, very manly voice, like almost like when you're being told in a dark fairy tale, almost like, yeah. And I'm finding it fascinating. He does have like a religious background, as his father was like this religious man, and his mother tried to look like a good religious woman, and they were both, him and his brother were kind of involved in Bible studies when they were younger, but his mother refused to teach him any further because his brother's an asshole. Apparently, he said something to his mother, and about like something bad Grayson did for. Grayson doesn't seem to remember what happened to him. His brother likes telling the story of how the devil woke into his bedroom when he was an infant, and like all that time gave him like a few scars and whatnot. So yeah, there's that trauma. Yeah. Grayson unknowingly signs a deal with the devil, who he thinks this is like a job contract sort of thing. Like he's gonna be a ghostwriter for this guy who's kind of collecting information about the devil, or not worshippers, but if people believe the devil. Not sightings of him and events that took place after these sightings in Scotland. And yeah, Grayson's supposed to take this information and write a book, so I'm intrigued to see what we read from that if we do see it. But from Grayson's like a psychiatrist in prison, it seems like his moods like kind of fluctuates. Like sometimes he's in a good mood or a normal mood, and sometimes he kind of is like almost paranoid. Like he is where he thinks the devil will still have access to him despite the fact he is in prison, so he's scared. But obviously people don't think like the devil is real, they just think like something's wrong with him. So yeah, there's that, and yeah, I'm finding this fascinating so far. I really like the writing style of this novel, so yeah. And tomorrow is supposed to be quite warm. I think, sorry, my landscape is bothering me. I was worried it was going to be in shot. But tomorrow's supposed to be like 60, which, where's mine? It's like February, like 10 or 11 today. Like it's the middle of February. Like, and I'm from New England, so that's not normal. That's way too warm, but I'm still gonna take advantage of it. Like, yeah, so I am planning to go for a walk tomorrow, which will be good, and I will show you. I also have some other plans, but again, I worry about jinx and stuff, so I'm not gonna say anything. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I did go to a library book sale, and I did go for a bit of a walk this morning. Throughout the days, it's gotten warmer and warmer. Like, it is supposed to be 60, and it feels like it when by the time I was about to go home. Like, It feels like spring, and yeah, I know tomorrow it's probably gonna go back to feeling like it's winter. Like I think it's supposed to be back in the 30s sometime this week, and I know in a few days' time we're getting snow. So yeah, that's fun. But my plants did do well a bit in a sense. This morning it looked like it rained last night, so the roads were wet, and as I was wearing sneakers, I was worried those would get soaked. So I just played it safe, and I just walked in this downtown area that was really pretty, close to my state's main university, the University of Connecticut. And I have done more reading of A History of Fear, and I'm on page 110, and I'm still liking it. I am liking the writing. It's and it's interesting seeing how Grayson he had this fear of the devil being out to get him. In a way, it seems like his brother's words did affect him, even if he knows his brother was just telling him stories to mess with him and whatnot, but his mind just couldn't really tell the difference between that. But his mind was playing tricks on him because of that, and probably the teachings he was getting in church. So yeah, he would imagine these things, or as I'm interpreting it, the demons or servants of the devil to come and get him, to bring him to the devil, which is also fascinating. And yeah, we also see more of what DB is trying to work on, his employer, Grayson's employer, sorry. How he wants to talk in his book that the devil is in Scotland and has always been in Scotland, and centuries ago lived amongst the people, and now that's not really the case. Politics have changed it, and people's beliefs have changed, so now people just no longer believe that the devil is around. He no longer has power in Scotland. So yeah, I am liking it. And before I leave you for today, I do want to give a little haul of what I got today at the library sale. I got 3 books for $3. I probably should set you down somewhere, because I can tell one of the books is going to be really happy to pick up. But the first book I got today was The Luminaries by Eleanor Cotton. This is about a man in 1866 who comes to New Zealand, and he stumbles upon this gathering of men who meet in secret to really discuss a series of unexplained events. I think it is supposed to be some sort of a ghost story, and apparently a reinvention of the lore and power of the Zodiac. So yeah, it just sounds interesting to me. And now that I have one. The second book I got was The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is going to take me a while when I eventually decide to read it. But yeah, this is about this kingdom who are ruled by a couple kingdoms who are ruled by queens, I believe, and there are dragons. I did read a Bond season last year by her, and I liked the writing, so I decided I wanted to read more by her. So, and lastly is Pineapple Street by Jenny Jackson, which is about these 3 women in, I think, New York, who are wealthy. 2 of them were born in this family, and 1 was married into it, and yeah. And I'm excited by all 3 of those, as you mentioned. And I'm not entirely sure what my plans are for tomorrow. I might go out book hunting again. I'm not entirely sure, and I know that since I said it out loud, I've been jinxed it. But yeah, that's all for today. from the last books that I've been going to for a while. They're always so tempting, like, that's how I buy books so cheaply, like, it also gives me a reason just to do something with my weekend, so yeah. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a haul first. I only got 3 books, and for altogether $10, so yeah. The first book I got was The Inheritance of Orquídea Divino by Zorada Cordova. I believe this is about a woman who is dying and she calls in her 3, I think, or yeah, 3 grandchildren or great-grandchildren to come and kind of get their inheritance. And when they get there, they see that she turned into a tree, and it goes into her backstory, and yeah. Second book I got was Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Moreira Machado. A series of short stories, and yeah, I'm intrigued. And lastly is Moriarty by Anthony Horwich, which I believe kind of follows after Moriarty and Sherlock fall from the waterfalls. And what was it called? I don't remember exactly, but yeah, there's some case that occurs in London, and there's a bunch of criminals trying to take over Moriarty's position, and this detective trying to stop it. So yeah, I just thought it something interesting. Also, I want to show you the naked hardcover because I just found that very interesting. Okay, now let's see if you will focus. Sorry. I just thought the sweater is cool, and I like how it's a waterfall, and it looks like, I don't think if my camera can pick it up, it's just the 2 figures falling. So. But yeah, that's what I got, and I'm excited for all of them. And as you saw, I wasn't driving for once. I was with my father, who did drive, and so I was able to film. I don't film like this scenery when I'm driving because that's not safe, and also I don't want to be pulled over in case there's like a cop or someone behind me, like. Yeah. So yeah, I have done more reading of a history of fear, and now I'm on page 160, and I'm liking it. We are seeing more of Grayson's life back in California, and events leading up to his father's death and everything, and my heart breaks for him because his father didn't even go to his graduation. And when he was graduating university, everything he did, he is to hopefully to please his father, to make his father finally proud of him, so his father can finally acknowledge him, because his father practically ignores him. And we only see a glimpse of what happened in Scotland with his father, but we see that he realizes that his father views him of this failed life that he could have had. Like, his father was in Scotland and he had this dream of being an academic, but something did happen that caused him to kind of change the course of his career, a choice he regrets. He regrets, I guess, moving back to the States, getting married, having kids. Like, he regrets the way they felt. Yeah. So yeah, that was interesting. So he finally realized, and his father, it seems like what happened in Scotland stayed with him, because he was at this summer party, and he kept saying about something about Scotland and whatnot, so that was fascinating. I also find fascinating to think the events that led up to the murder of Grayson's classmate, and how he saw the events one way, but everyone else saw the events another way. An example is the classmate posted on Facebook he was gonna hike, I think, Arthur's Crown or something like that in Edinburgh. And he asked if anyone wanted to join him, and Grayson was like, yeah, I'm up to it. Like, he thought it was an invitation, like an open invitation, like they were gonna go on a hike together, but during the trial we see a friend of the classmate, I don't know why my mind is blanking on his name, saying that Grayson followed him to this mountain. So yeah, and yeah, so it's just how people saw different events or different things. So that's what I find fascinating. Our main character sees events or occurrences versus like other characters. But yeah, I'm still really liking this novel, and yeah, and I think tomorrow I'm planning to stay home. I'm not entirely sure, but I bet there's a high possibility I will. But yeah, that's all for. So it's the next day, and I did go out today. I just went to do some grocery shopping with my dad, and yeah, I didn't do anything because it was like there's nothing like interesting. But we did go to that Eastern European store we go to. It's because like my dad likes the bread over there, even through it's a bit out of the way. Like, yeah, but I did buy like what I usually buy there, which is that cake thing I like, more gingerbread than in Danish, like nothing interesting. And I have done some more reading of a history of fear, and I'm still really liking it. Yeah, Grayson has seemed to learn that he might have some powers that brings out the worst in people or the worst in animals. Like in the beginning, earlier in the novel, we see when he first meets DB, this kid who's throwing French fries at him. His father takes his phone and smashes it. A couple arguing very horribly, and dinner like with the guy sweeping the dinner onto the floor, and then later we see that these two people on a date, and the guy takes money off the woman's purse. Like, and there was a quote in the novel that was interesting. Let me grab it. So this quote's on page 174, and it says, "No, not possessed. Possession implied implantation, host and parasite. But that's not how the devil worked. The horror movies had it wrong. The advisor could only make those transgress who had it in their hearts to do so. His job was merely to unleash the evil within. My father had taught me that." So it's like he doesn't create the evil in our hearts. It's already there, but he brings it out and enhances it almost. And I find that concept really fascinating, and I think I also figured out where the title of the book comes from. It's he has a history of Grayson and his father. They both have a history of being afraid, and they both made decisions based on their fears. Like Grayson's father decided to run back to the U.S. to be safe from it, and Grayson's kind of deciding to not follow in his father's footsteps to face the thing that scares him. And yeah, it's interesting. And yeah, it seems like there are people you can assume online who say that they slept with the devil, and they gave him he gave them powers. And yeah, it's this. They might not be so serious, but he's like, this is actually happening to me, and so yeah, I'm just really liking it, and I think maybe tomorrow I might end this vlog. I'm not sure because I'm already editing it in. I have 21 minutes of footage, so that's fun. But I might end it tomorrow because it is supposed to snow there this one. And I'll try and show you like the difference between the different weather we've had. Like yesterday, or no, a couple of days ago, it was 60, and it did feel warm. It did feel like it was 60. It felt like spring. And tomorrow we're supposed to get like a foot of snow, so that'll be fun. But yeah, that's all for today. So it's the next day, and as you probably just saw, it is snowing, or at least it was. It looks like it does stopped. So yeah, but we definitely got a few inches, which is I think more than we had all winter. So yeah. But reading wise, I'm now on page 282 of A History of Fear, and again, I'm still liking it. We are kind of seeing Grayson's descent into madness, like, but the tale that's been mentioned several times throughout the book, which is Jack and the Devil's Horn by Ned Duhamel. I don't know how to say that last name, I'm sorry, but that seems not to kind of like give Grayson the idea that in order to rid himself of the devil of DB, he must fulfill the promises he made and write a damn book, because like make people remember the devil. So yeah, he's doing that, and he's losing his mind. Like it's affecting his schooling. Like he doesn't really he attends like the bare minimum in order to pass his classes, and it is affecting his relationships, and he is losing track of time. Like it's consuming him entirely, and that's also interesting. But also that he's kind of questioning if these things he's seeing this, and if DB is actually real, or if he is losing his mind. Like he's imagining all of this life, but now he's wondering, wait, is this actually real? Is DB actually real, or did he attack, or like kind of questioning like his head, his I guess his mental well-being, questioning if the visions he's seeing, if the devil put it in his head, or he's just conjuring up visions of the devil. Like, is everything that's happening really happening, or is he just imagining it? It's also interesting. But yeah, like, yeah, I'm wondering what's a spoiler and what's not. But the guy he murdered, they go missing, and allegedly he was the last person to see him. So he is definitely a suspect, but also the important thing is there are lapses in his memory, because he and his victim, they had an altercation at the party, and then Grayson left, and then he remembers he went and got something to eat, but he doesn't remember making it back to his flat. So there's that. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening that are fast, that are interesting to me. So yeah, I'm liking it. And yeah, and I think this will be the end of this vlog. Yeah. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below telling me what you've been up to recently. If you want to, please subscribe to this channel, and if you want to follow me on any social media, then all those links are in the down bar below. I'll see you guys next time I post a video. Bye.